Hello, welcome back to Shankar's channel. And this video is to help you with how you can regain the access to EC2 instance. In this case, it is Linux. But since this, I covered in my last video how you can recover the files. This is a very most important topic, I would say. The session, the demo, how you can retrieve the data if even if you are not able to connect to the instance, or, in other words, I would say how you can regain the access to the same instance which has like huge data in it and the important files, maybe confidential, whatever is there. So, supposedly, if you're working in an organization where you come across an issue where one of the requester reaches out to you and say, hey, I lost my pam file or the ppk file to log into the instance, and you even don't have it. So what would you do? How would you uh, allow the user to get the data out of it, or maybe just uh, re image, I would say, the instance, or make the instance again up and working fine? How you can do it? So there are like ways to do it, but in this topic I'm going to cover one of the methods, and I'll later on, before wrapping up this session, I will cover, I'll tell you what other methods do we have in order to perform this. So supposedly I have this instance, and I'm sorry, this is Footigen. This is the instance I was referring to. And if I go here and do ls, I do have two files in here, two HTML files, index and index2. So suppose if this is very important files for the users or requester. So how you can, if you are not able to connect to the instance, suppose you lost the keys, right? This is the key I logged into, but trust me, I'll go ahead and delete this key for you like this, and it's all set. It's all done. So I deleted the key. I now don't have the key. When you go here in the AWS console and the key pairs, you would find uh, hey, that you have the key but you cannot even download it. So we have an option to import it. You can delete this, you can tag this to something something, but you cannot delete it. You can create new key pair, but you can again cannot replace new key pair with the existing EC2 instance, since we don't have any such option to do it. So how you can do it in that case, if your PEM file is corrupted, or if your PEM file is lost? By saying PEM file, I'm just referring the authentication. It can be PPK file, right? So how you can retrieve that? I'm going to cover this very shortly. So what you can do here is, uh, I suppose I lost the access. I am just closing this session. Now I cannot log into this instance again because I don't have the key. I just deleted it, and n- by saying deleted, that means I lost it. Let's assume it like this. So I'll go ahead and go here, actions, image, and I'll create AMI, that is image. For this instance, I'll say recovered EC2, just an image, recovered EC2 image. Sorry, image is nothing but the imagination of what all softwares and what all data would be in there, including operating system and all, right? I'll create this image. I'll go here in the AMI section. I'll see what's the status at this point. The status says pending. If you can see here, status is pending. You can even see it from here. Status pending, right? This is the one. So let's wait for this to become available. I'm uh, going to pause the video and we'll be back. All right, it is now available. And meanwhile, while I pause the video, what I did extra is just I stopped the instance so it won't uh, incur any further costs, right? You can think about this when you come and uh, uh, take a look at the cost optimization part. right? So I have created the AMI here. This is the image I've created. What I'll do here is, since my existing instance is stopped, and I this is the image of that particular instance. So I'll go ahead and check this box. I'm sorry, say launch instance from the AMI. So I'm going to spin up another instance using this AMI. It's called recovered instance, right? And I'll use the same AMI with same configurations, but what I'll do is I'll create a new pair here, new key pair here, uh, recovered key. Just naming it like this, so you can name it to anything else if you want to. So I created it. I just downloaded the key pair PPK file. I'll create security group. I can use the existing security group, but just for now, I'll go ahead and choose the default settings and create the instance. If I go to the instance here, let's see what it says. So it's coming up now. I'm going to pause this video. We'll be back. All right, so it is now available, running, and let's see what's the status checks. We'll wait for it. Must be initializing, but we should wait for it to become 2 by 2. So it's initializing right now. So while launching the instance, what we missed is we missed to enable to assign the public IP. So in this case, what I'll do as an extra step, I'll open Elastic IP. I'll allocate an Elastic IP and I'll associate it to the instance so that we can log in, since it is like personal account uh, in an enterprise environment. You must be using some, uh, you must be using private keys to log into the instance. So there is no need for this particular step. This is just if you're using public IP to log into the instance. So I have got the Elastic IP here, and let me refresh it again. And it's initializing, but I may be able to log into the instance. Let's see. I'll go here. And I say EC2 hyphen user at the rate IP. Since it's Linux, so I use the username as EC2 hyphen user. If it is Ubuntu, then you must use Ubuntu at the rate IP. So I'll log into this. So I'm logged into this instance. Now, what I'll first check is ls. If you see that I have two files here, right? So at this point, it is the same system with the same data. The only change here is we now have a different IP. We now have another instance, new instance with the same data, with the same uh, softwares. Everything is same. Like it's kind of, we launched it using the image of the lost key pair instance. So if I go here and show you what was the key name for the previous instance which we lost, I named it as lost key so we can identify the difference between these two. So lost key is something we already lost, but this is what we already now have. Okay, this is the recovered key. If you see here the key pair name, it's called recovered key. But maybe users or like team, product team or technical team using this key, and they hard coded somewhere the key name. I would say the key name they're using somewhere else, like lost key dot pam, lost key dot ppk. They must be using some in some integration of some dev tools, or maybe in some other way of authenticating to the instance. So In that case, what as an extra step I would suggest you to do here is you go here, go into SSH directory. So let's do ls. We have authorized keys. I'll show you what this contains. So this contains two keys. One is two public keys. So if you by chance have gone through the very first video I recorded for this channel was to create user with the SSH key enabled. So this might confuse you here, but trust me, if you go through my first video, you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about here. So I have two public keys, right? And since I need a key with this name, but this is public key. In order to log into the instance, we need private key, Keypair, right? PPK file. We don't need pub file, pub file. We don't need that. We need ppk file. So this is the public key for lost key and public key for the recovered key. So what I suggest you here is to create a new key pair within this instance. Like I showed you in my first video, I'll create the new key pair and use it in my public key authorized keys folder. Let's do it. So I'll go ahead and do sh keygen, hit enter. Here I would give the name as lost key. No passphrase, hit enter, enter, and it's created. Now if I do ls, I'll see we see now uh, three items. One is authorized keys and one is lost key and then lost key dot pub. So what I'll do here is if I again do cat authorized keys, now we'll have we have to now we'll have to replace all of this with the content of this lost key pub. So how you can check the content? You can do cat and lost key dot pub. This is the content we have. Just copy it like this, right? You know how to copy it, so I don't need to tell you this. Now you come here under sudo. I'm putting it here just to executing with the administrative privileges, because if I do just vi authorized keys to enter into the file, it may not allow me to edit and save it, right? So I'll do sudo vi. Also, I'm opening this file, and if I see here we have two keys, I'll delete everything here and I'll copy the content what we recently. I'll paste the content what we recently copied, and just give me like 5 more seconds. Okay, escape, yeah, enter. So I copied it. Now if I again do get to authorized keys, I now only see. Oh, I'm sorry. It did not save it actually. Let me save it again. It still has this. My bad. Right. So I saved it now, and it shows the new public key. Now what I'll do, again do ls, it will show me. See what happened in my last save, which did not actually save it. So I hit backslash, so it did not save it. So it created another, file. So let's ignore this thing. So what I'll do here is this lost key is nothing but the pem file. So I'll copy this PEM file content to a notepad, let's say notepad, and I'll save this PEM file as lost key. Since I saved it, now what I'll do, if you can provide the PEM key if somebody wants, but if somebody wants PPK, you can come here in PuttyGen. You can load that PEM key which we recently created, successfully imported, save private key. You know how to do it, right? So not then I just showed you how to do it. So this is lost key with the PPK file name and it's saved. I'll close this. Now if I have to test this out, what I'll do, I'll go to my instance, copy the IP of the recovered instance, and let's open a new session here. We'll log in again and I'll close this previous session. So what I'll do, I'll log in with this lost key. Click open. Here we go. So why it allowed me, because I did not create a user. It the user was already there, EC2 hyphen user. I just replaced the authentication file in the authorized keys so that whenever we use ppk file or pam file, it will allow us to get into the system, right? So the entire motive for me to cover this demo, just to let you know that we have ways to recover if you have the corrupted pam file, if you lost the pam file or the ppk file, I would say. So you can go through this video, you can utilize it and get back to the get the system back up and running. uh, but the only change we will have is the ip. And even if you're working in innovation, you can even hard code the ip. You can replace the ip using such kind of method. You can have the secondary ips as your uh, ip of the lost instance, using networking section and then manage ip addresses. You can attach the uh, secondary ip to it, you know like this, assign new ip address, and you can do these things as well while working in an organization. So this all depends upon all approvals by security and every other concern team or the product manager while working in a corporate environment. So like I said in the beginning, there are ways. So another way is for you to recover the data or regain the access, where you can see the old data or old every other file that you had in your previous instance. You can have the access again if you uh, go to the storage and make the snapshot of this instance and create another volume and attach it to the new instance, launch new instance and attach it to the same, and copy that uh, uh, key or copy the data to the root volume of the new instance, so they can also have the same data in their root directory. But again, there would be again a new ppk and the authentication file. Another method, if you are working on organization, there are chances you have the ssm installed. So when you click this I'll- since my lostness is stopped, so I'll use this one which is running. So if you have the instance where your keypair is lost, you can come here, click connect, go to session manager and click connect. It is not allowing me to connect because there is no ssm agent installed, but in enterprise environment there are chances, and most of the time you have ssm installed. So you can click connect here. It will allow you to open the terminal right here on this console, and can you can again perform the same steps like I did for enabling the new ssh key. And once you have the ssh key, you can use putty to log in with instance. All right, that was all. Thank you for watching. I'll come up with next video with more some interesting stuff.